with the Sunshine Act. District residents who wish to address the board are required to sign up to provide public comment at least 5 minutes prior to the start of the meeting. Public participation will occur only during the designated public comment portion of the agenda. Disruptions, interruptions, outbursts, or other disorderly conduct of any kind will not be tolerated. By attending and attending publicly in this meeting, you are consenting to the district's recording, retention, and future viewing of this meeting. Due to technical issues, tonight's meeting is not being live streamed. We are audio recording this meeting, and it will be posted to the district website after the meeting. We sincerely apologize for the inconvenience. All board members are present tonight, except for Stephen Yerger, who is absent. Board Secretary Thomas Schobaker is also absent. I ask the board's unanimous consent that Mrs. Carrie Bowman serve as Secretary pro tempore for tonight's meeting.
So moved.
Okay. Without objection, so ordered. Mrs. Mummer is elected to the office of Secretary pro tempore. All right. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and a moment of silence. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. No public comment this evening, and we will roll right into our district updates, starting with Mr. Alsakis with the athletic department.
Should just stand or...
We can stand, we don't have a podium either.
Sorry, guys.
We'll wheel it out.
It's been a while since I...
Don't worry. Want me to pull it out? We'll pull it out. All right. Well, good evening, everyone. As we begin another school year, there is a renewed sense of excitement and energy throughout the athletic department. The start of fall sports is always one of the most exciting times of the year as our student athletes return to the fields, courts, and practice facilities, and our coaches begin to work of building teams, developing relationships, and creating opportunities for our students. Our football program began heat acclimatization today, and it marks the official beginning of the fall sports season. The first official day of practice is Monday, August 17th, when all the sports teams can start coming out. And we look forward to welcoming our students back for another successful fall. I know many of you are interested. Our first home football game is Friday, August 28th versus Kennerdale, and we encourage our school community to come out and support our student athletes. I'm also pleased to share an exciting addition to our athletic department. We recently purchased a new golf cart to replace our 22-year-old Gator, which has certainly served us well over the years. The new golf cart was fully funded through donations. No Board of Education allocated funding was used towards the purchase. This new cart will provide a safe and reliable means of transportation for our athletic trainer and student athletes and should serve our athletic department well for many years to come. Beyond its practical value, I believe the new golf cart also sends an important visual message. It demonstrates the pride we take in our athletic department, our facilities, and the standards we strive to maintain for our students. As we move into this school year, we are also already looking ahead at working on other enhancements and making them reality. This year, I will continue to work with you, build community partnerships, and identify resources to help make a new stadium scoreboard possible. We are also strategically planning for the purchase of a new competition wrestling mat, as well as PIAA-mandated basketball shot clocks, which we would like to have installed during this upcoming summer. In addition, we will continue to work closely with our baseball and softball stakeholders, along with you, to identify and pursue the much-needed enhancements to those facilities. While these projects will take planning, resources, and collaboration, we remain committed to moving them forward strategically and responsibly. There is a great deal to be excited about as we begin the 26-27 school year, and we look forward to continuing to improve the experiences and opportunities we provide for our student athletes. Go Thunderbolts! Any questions?
Any questions from the board? Thank you, Mr. Outside. I would say my one question, I guess we're in the start of a new 2-year cycle.
Yes, for the scheduling,
For
yes.
scheduling.
Yes,
So
yes.
Cannondale is a new opponent for week 1. So
Yeah, we
we'll
have
see
some.
what we do with them.
Yes, we have some. Exactly, we have some new opponents we'll see around. We have Shalom Christian. We'll see some now. We have James Buchanan. We'll be seeing more now.
Big Spring.
Excuse me.
Big Spring.
Big Spring. Yeah. Yep. So as we talked about last year, the YAIA is gone, and now we have the SCAC, the South Central Athletic Conference. So should be a lot of fun as we move forward and get the fall season going. I know I'm excited.
Dr. Moyer will be disappointed we're not facing his former Bubblers week 1.
That's right. That's right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
All right, Dr. Fiaski.
Hello, everyone. Nice to see you. So to start, we have enrolled 18 pre-K students this year with IEPs, from speech to autism to regular learning support. We've also enrolled this summer 19 new students that have enrolled from either out of state or within state, moved to our district with IEPs. And we have withdrawn 4 students with an IEP this year. And we still have some more time, so more are coming in. I'm also pleased to share that our second autism classroom is up and ready to go, and both classrooms are fully staffed, so we're good on that part. But I am working on continually interviewing because I have 3 additional positions that need to be filled, 2 teaching assistant positions and a personal care assistant position. I've also had the opportunity to meet individually with our 3 new learning support teachers to help them get connected and to ensure they have the supports they need as they begin the new school year as new teachers, nervous and learning everything. And Kara Glass and I provided an overview to all our new teachers. We talked about pupil services and special educations, like who to reach out to for support, where they need to go, just trying to get them those connections, because what we want to do the beginning of the school year is build those strong systems with our new teachers, get them comfortable the first month of school so they feel good and confident in what they're doing. And that is my report.
Thank you. Any questions from the board?
Dr. Fiaski?
Yes.
So,
Can there be a way that when you come make your report, this would help me when you just gave that information, if we had like a piece of paper where we could review it? You know, you mentioned the students coming in. What I'm saying is so that I can have a visual.
Yeah, I can share this afterwards too. With
Yeah, if
Dr.
you wouldn't
Brandon
mind,
to share with you.
I like a visual because when you do say it.
So if I give numbers, you mean?
Yes, yeah, the
Yeah, if
numbers.
I give numbers, sure.
Yes,
Yeah.
that would be great. I would appreciate it because
Yeah.
once again, you're so good at saying it and so fast, it's hard for me to write it down.
No
So
problem.
I just like to keep tabs.
Yeah,
You wouldn't
no
mind.
problem.
Thank you so much. Because I love your presentations when you give them. So, thank you.
any other questions? Thank you, Doctor. All right, for the very first time, our new assistant to the superintendent, Mr. Williams.
Yeah, so good evening. I'd like to give a brief update, share on our recent work that we're preparing for the weekend, just like everybody else. First, I'd like to say that Judy and I, we successfully transitioned with our new staff into our new roles, in addition to our own roles, both at the elementary and secondary levels. Been working closely with Ms. Golden through student-teacher rosters, just making sure as I've left the elementary and she's picked up that we're sort of transitioning that smoothly. Welcome letters have went all to families for that as well. Continuing to support our implementation of into reading that we spoke a lot about last year. That's our big focus is the elementary with the ELA this year. So we're going to continue to work with Ms. Golden and her team to move that forward into the 26-27 year. And then I submitted and shared their ACES book list, not only for our library, for our classroom, for it to be reviewed and start going through the process of the curriculum. Also working to get a better understanding with Dr. Berryman about what federal programs mean. Again, that's a new adventure for me, and working into the Ready to Learn grant, and again, just working on making sure the proper access side, and again, just getting an understanding of what those programs are, what they mean, and how that functions work within the district. So that's been exciting. As Dr. Fioschi mentioned, we did work with our new teachers here recently, last week. We held a collaboration with all Adams County School Districts. So on 2 of the days, on Tuesday and Wednesday last week, everybody in the county, we were the host. This year, we rotate that. So we had about 40 teachers, new teachers that were with us. And then we had 2 days back in our home district. So on Monday and Thursday, each school district worked with their local departments. And some of the topics that we talked about included special education, ethics, classroom management, parent communication. We talked about what Act 13 requirements are. We did some employee onboarding. We did building tours. And really, new teachers work quite a bit with their mentors, centered around curriculum, planning. They worked on developing some vision boards to help them get started for the beginning of the school year, and really prepared for that classroom. As Dr. Fioschi said, that the opening day really focused on the first couple of weeks to help create that foundation and feel welcome, and so that they can be ready for success from day one. I've also been working with the LIU, sort of working through their networking system, just to try to get up to speed of the new year and with me being again new in the role. Just working through any of the Department of Ed services updates. We did have a meeting, I think 2 or 3 weeks ago here, last week in July. We didn't get a chance to see a lot of names, a lot of faces. Some were familiar and some were not, so we'll give you the opportunity to see that. Again, covering topics such as structured literacy, all the different state initiatives that we talked about continuously in our meetings, and really talk about some of the best practices from each respective district throughout the region. And then finally, focus has really been on helping coordinate with the buildings and Dr. Berryman their in-service agenda. So as we prepare for our teachers to return next week, again, trying to center some of that focus around professional development in some of the areas like this into reading, as I indicated, some focus with mystery science at the elementary level. And then obviously we're continuing to work on some newer initiatives centered around AI. We're working through some information associated with Magic School platform. And again, just making sure our staff's trained and ready for our students when they arrive here in about 2 weeks. So with that concludes my report from my office.
Thank you. Any questions from the board for Mr. Moran? Thank you, Mr. Moran. At this time, we're going to take a brief recess to in an attempt to get our live stream rolling for the review of the regular agenda and the action items for tonight's meeting. So bear with us as we take a brief recess for that. I know. Yeah, so
Yeah, that was, they already linked them, so they're gonna.
Thank you.
She'll be there.
Essentially, again,
What is one?
so that's definitely. Yeah, but that's. I know, I think it's okay.
So you need to go from that one.
Usually it's
Joe messing you up. Messing you up.
just untangling stuff.
I never saw this.
Now I'm concerned. Give me that one real quick. Oh, you know.
It's okay. Start working our way up.
We got the next one.
She's like, we probably do one. What was your, do you have the race?
The silver one, yeah.
I now see all the videos you give them all.
Listen, I like that. My life's not much It's not our fault, you know. I can actually have stuff. Yes, there's no hurry. Yeah, there's no hurry. So. But it was cool though. It's cool. I'll fix that. Oh, no. Yes.
would say that they are pretty experienced with softball fields.
Okay. I'm just thinking logistically, you know, whoever does it, if, excuse me, if any of our students are injured on these fields or anything, if we know that they're definitely going to be done right.
Well, we actually happen to have them in the room. So do you all want to come up to the podium and
You better.
answer some questions?
I could do it if you like, but, yeah.
So we have Miss Amanda Martin, who is the treasurer of the softball boosters, and accompanying her is Coach Lovelace, our varsity coach of the softball program.
Hi.
Thank you for coming tonight.
Sure, absolutely. So we've done several of the local fields. I don't know if you're familiar with the Littlestown baseball for youth fields or not, but we've done multiple fields of that complex. And then there's also another field in Bonnieville at the CWD, and we've also done that field recently as well.
So are you, I'm out of my comfort zone, but I feel like I have to ask.
Sure.
Are you like licensed to do these things?
Yes, perfect. And we're doing this actually for the safety of the players because there's about a 4-inch drop from behind first base. So there's actually been multiple injuries that have already happened. So we're just trying to get it back in shape and make it good for the girls.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for what you're doing and the time that you're going to put into this. Thank you.
Of course.
And
Yep.
So just one,
Sure.
so it's calling for 3 loads of dirt. How much dirt is that when you say 3 loads?
Triaxle loads.
So it's 60 tons.
And we're not really sure if it's going to take all 3 loads. We just would rather be prepared for that if needed for our sponsorship purposes. So it could not take all of that. We're
Right,
not.
so
We're going to leave that up to the
Are you
contractor.
digging out the infield and replacing the entire infield or just covering?
We're going to
That's great.
see. That all has to be laser graded and all that kind of stuff.
So that's just a worst case 3 loads?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yeah.
Thank you.
Any other questions for the board? Thank you, Mrs. Martin, and thank you to the softball boosters, and thank you, Coach Lovelace, for embarking on the project and for making this generous donation for the safety and the well-being of our student athletes. So, thank you. Item C is approval of the 2026-2027 agreements for ambulance coverage to cover the home, I believe these are the home football games of the football team, and the Hoffman Holmes agreement. Any questions on either of those contracts?
I have one.
Ms. Bayless?
On the ambulance agreement, I'm assuming from what I've read here, we would be paying that, not the sporting groups, right? Not the football group.
Mr. Alessakis?
Yes, that would come out of the operating budget that we have that we've established last year. That's paid out of our school accounts. Yeah.
Okay, we're so close to the Littlestown Ambulance and Fire Department. I mean, how often do we actually use it?
Well, response time is everything. So having them on premises, if we were to have a traumatic injury, I think would bode well with the board rather than waiting as a student lie in the field.
Sure.
Waiting
Yeah.
on it. So we just, I think the money is well spent to have them there, especially when you're talking about a contact sport like football, where these injuries happen. Thank goodness none happened last year. I can think of one injury where we had a broken leg, but we didn't need the ambulance or anything like that. So.
Okay. Well, thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions for Mr. Alessakis? Thank you. You're welcome. All right, item D is the triangle fire protection to replace the fire alarm parts of the transportation maintenance building. That's an approved capital project. So, this is, it's already been, it's already been approved by the board. This is just the final approval of the actual agreement to do the work.
Did this go out to bid? Did it go out in an RFP? It's okay, maybe somebody can get back to me on that.
Mr. Chauvet can get back to you, whenever he's able to, or possibly.
That's fine.
Trove. So it wouldn't be a bid. It would, we probably have went to different vendors with a request for proposal.
It's going to be part of CoStar's or, trying to find the other one. They tend to go through CoStar, so that they don't have to necessarily go out. They're all
Right, but that's not necessary.
It's not going to be a bid necessity.
Right, because the, right, yeah.
So,
And, if you don't mind me,
Mr. Sullivan.
thank you. We approved this project, as you said, back in October 2025. The original price to it was $26,500. I see this is listed as $16,760.
Which is great.
Yeah, I don't disagree. I was just curious if that is what it actually is.
I would assume since that's what the
Okay,
contract says.
okay. Just curious, thanks.
Any other questions? All right, item E is the approval of the policy review services contract with PSBA. You want to talk a little bit about this?
I can talk about it, and Jerry maybe as well. So you last year had also approved for us to join PSBA, which is where we get the templates from our policies. They also review them to make sure we're legally compliant, federal and state. What we determined last year or discovered is that we only get 10 policies from them per year, and anything that they put out in their PNN, and their PNN are like updates that have to be made to policies because of changes in law or PA code or anything of that nature. So what we found is we were coming to a bit of a standstill because we were not getting enough policies actually to get in front of you to approve. So last year when we were voting the budget, I had asked Carrie and Al and Tom to work on getting us the entire PSBA manual so that we can make sure all of our policies are up to date and approved by this school board in a more timely manner versus them giving us 10 per year and whatever happens to come out in a PNN. Because I believe, if I'm not mistaken, the goal of the board was to get all of our policies updated, in line, and compliant, and at this rate, it would take us quite a few years to do that. So last year during the budgeting process, we did budget for the entire PSBA policy manual. Anything that I missed on that?
The PNNs come out quarterly, and it's not like a significant number each time. It's sometimes there's 4 policy updates, sometimes there's 15. So we're really at the mercy of what they decide to update or what they're required to update. And like you heard Dr. Brandon would say, this will definitely put us on track for that 3-year turnaround of bill cycle.
Any questions on the policy review? Ms. Bayless?
Do we know how much it's gonna cost?
I believe that's in the contract.
Yeah, it's like the second.
$7,200.
That's not under 2 where it says price. Do you know where you found it?
It's on page 7.
Okay.
It's currently budgeted, correct?
Yes.
Thank you.
Oh, well,
All right. Item F is the approval of the 2026-2027 2027 annual investment plan. I believe this was something that we started last year, Tom, that he gives us a plan of how he's going to invest the money in compliance with state and federal regulations. Is there any questions on the investment plan? All right. Payment of invoices and the treasurer's report. Any questions?
Probably would like to hold that off until Shoemaker is here. You don't mind that?
Okay. Under personnel, we have approval. These are the standard approvals that we have every month, and we have some that are the approvals that occur at the beginning of the school year, such as teacher mentors, club advisors, fall sport volunteers, tenured employees, and then we have all of our typical personnel items like hires, resignations, transfers, etc. Are there any questions on any of the personnel items?
I have a couple.
Do we need to go to executive session?
I don't think so.
If it's a personnel item that is about the employment of a specific employee, then we need to go to executive session.
Just two questions. Being the start of the school year, there's no names. No names. Being the start of the school year, is there a reason why we already have 5 resignations?
Well, so they happen over the summer, and as a board, we don't meet in July, so we
Okay.
are able to do the hiring, and then we save all of the resignations and the ratification of all the hires for the August agenda.
Okay. And then the only other question I had was, thank you. The only other question I had was, for similar to our, excuse me, similar to our athletic staff that help with athletics, we give them a little extra, like a stipend or something, because of their time that they give for that. Do we do the same with the teacher mentors and stuff like that?
Yes.
Okay. See, that wasn't too bad, all right. Not too bad. Thank you.
That was an executive session carried.
And then,
Yes.
on that too, is there any reason why the 2026-2027 fall sports volunteers are separated from the regular volunteers? Just curious.
I think because it's a bigger list, that's
Okay.
probably the reason why that was determined.
We typically approved those back in June, but we didn't have that full list. You know how we do the coaches in June?
Yes.
So we didn't have a full list of volunteers yet, so this kind of keeps it all in one document.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
Yeah, these are all volunteer coaches. These aren't like new volunteers that are becoming volunteers. These are people that are in our system already that are being approved for their assignment as a coach.
Great.
And the club advisors will be linked before the agenda goes out on Friday. So just notice the club advisors are not linked yet.
Do the club advisors get a stipend as well?
Yes.
Anything extra?
Yes.
All right. Hearing nothing else, that's the end of the personnel report. The only items under curriculum, co-curriculum policy is the second and final reading of the board policies and procedures that were on for first reading in June. Any questions?
I'm sorry, one last question. Correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we address the dress and grooming before in the past?
I believe we did, and it was probably a P&A
I
that
think
came
this
out that
came
was
from
an
Just updating.
And it was a minor update to both the personnel and the students.
Normally I would know that if there was a CCP meeting about it, then I would know, but you would have said it.
It would have been on, it would have been on
It
the
would have
June
been-
CC.
And yeah, with the, just go off on this.
It was on the June CC.
Yeah.
I thought maybe something changed, I'm sorry, we had to jump in. Okay, good.
All right, that's the end of the regular agenda. We have some action items this evening. Can I have a motion to approve the retirement of Bonnie Shoemaker, secondary math teacher, effective August 11th, 2026?
So moved, Janelle Wrestler.
A motion on the floor, do I have a second?
Seconded, Dwayne Sullivan.
Seconded, any discussion? I would like to, as stated earlier, thank Mrs. Shoemaker for her 35 years of dedicated service to the Littlestown Area School District. She Mrs. Shoemaker. My mom had Mrs. Shoemaker. Gary had Mrs. Shoemaker. I think Janelle's boys had Mrs. Shoemaker. And Allie's, and I mean, she has impacted and touched so many lives through her service as a teacher in our district. And it would be a huge loss to our district, and it'll be big shoes to fill for the next teacher in that classroom. So, anybody else?
I also just want to acknowledge that I don't think there was a sporting event where she wasn't at. If she wasn't volunteering, she was there supporting the students in our school district.
Yeah, she was coaching, she was ticket, she was security, she was whatever, she was whatever our district needed at the time, she was there to fill in. And,
I enjoyed talking with her at events.
Yeah.
Now I'd like to take the time to thank her for her 35 years of service. That's really extraordinary. I commend her on that. Very, very well done. Thank you.
Yeah, she could teach kids math that other kids weren't getting it for whatever reason from another teacher, but she just has that way. She reaches every one of them. When you hear about our second time test takers in Keystone Algebra, her and Mrs. Meckley are the ones that are getting them through that. So like you really, really take the time with our kids. So
And she loves her students.
She does.
Yeah.
Yeah, she does.
You don't see dedication like that, sir. That's serious dedication.
All right. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. The ayes have it, motion carries. Can I have a motion to approve the change orders and credits from Lowmark?
So moved, Janelle Ressler.
I have a motion on the floor, do I have a second?
Second, Bill Arnold.
Any discussion? Mr. Sullivan?
Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you. I would like to address the cost. We're looking at over $61,000 here. It's a lot of money for 3 mini splits. I was looking over the 2 bills. The mini splits alone, both inner and outer units, would be around $5,000. The rest of it all, there's a whole lot of other stuff. That's a lot of money. And on short notice, I can't be sure any of this was put out for estimate locally. Would have been good, but that's my concerns on it. $61,000.
It's great.
Yeah, it's taxpayer money if it goes back.
But it's
Because
not.
originally, it was taxpayer money when we moved it. The grant, the state only paid $500,000 of the whole grant for that whole project, so we paid the majority of it, which I remember is over, I think it was over $3 million to boot. And so that means the state come in and paid 15% of it. So it's really taxpayers money that I'm worried about. And that's just a lot.
So you don't want air conditioning, is that what you're saying?
We had this discussion about a year ago, and we didn't do it because of the cost. We did have this discussion.
So if I could for just a minute, please. So when this grant project started, there was $126,000, almost $127,000 put in a contingency fund for change orders. We had gotten a number of credits back through some of the grant work. So there was supposed to be some duct work and installation done of the duct work. They found out that when they went in, that they actually did not need to do the installation of the ductwork. So we got a $36,000 credit for that, and then another $9,000 for that was also related to working around the ductwork. Then we also received another credit around $10,000. It was having to do with, and I don't know a whole lot about this. This is like a Victor and Tom type question, but something about the louvers. They thought that we weren't going to be able to use them and they would have to be replaced, but we were able to use them, so we got another $10,000 credit in that. So when you take those credits along with the contingency fee, there's around $180,000 sitting in there, like 186. So we were asking for, yes, roughly 61,000 to go out for these 2 contracts to do the 3 mini splits, which are the wiring. I believe there's some pipe piping, don't hold me to that, but that sounds accurate. If you're putting in a mini split, any type of air conditioning, that there would be piping for that. The units, the labor, it does all fall under the grant project. And then I don't want to be remiss and not mention this. The third item in front of you is, in the original construction project, ECI was supposed to do the lower portion of the roof there by that graphic arts area where the new generator is out back. If you guys will remember, we took a field trip to that graphic arts area. ECI ended up not doing that roof because of the grant work we were going to be doing. So we got a credit from ECI, who did not do the roof there because of the grant work that was going to be going in. And so now Lobart is going to do that as part of completing this part of the grant project, because ECI is no longer a part of this part of the project. If that helps to make sense about these three different contracts in front of you.
I think it's actually a really good quote on the systems price-wise. It's not, I mean, it's pretty comparative. I mean, then to claw that money back from that existing, not even a third of what that contingency fund was, I don't see how there's any issues with it.
I will do my best to answer your questions. Again, this is not necessarily something that's generally up my alley, but.
You're not an HVAC extraordinary.
Listen, I'm learning a lot this week, so. Well, actually, through that whole project.
You got prevailing wages in there and whatnot, and it's not, you're not gonna be, this isn't your standard home.
Yeah, that was something, Mr. Sullivan and I talked about earlier. We cannot get away from prevailing wage, so we are, that is something we're beholden to.
So is each one of these for a different mini split?
No. So the one is all three of the units. The other one is all the wiring, and all the other components that go with it, as well as labor on that, and then the roof. That small section of it.
So what locations are we actually going to be air conditioning with?
Sure. It's the 3 rooms downstairs in the lower level. It's our robotics and CAD room is one room, and the other one is where we do a lot of our engineering type classes, and then also our ag classroom. So it's those 3 classrooms, and they're the last 3 that do not have air conditioning in the secondary building.
When do you anticipate the project to start?
If we can get this approved this evening, it will be ready for when kids are back in the building. We have Lobart ready to roll.
And I will say that I actually just happened to run into Jesse Grant at lunch yesterday after church. And he said that if this isn't approved, that they're going to cook downstairs because they can no longer open their windows.
Oh, that is, yes.
So they have no type of airflow going into
Yes,
this
with
project.
the new windows that were also part of the grant project. Thank you for bringing that up, Mr. Lovell and Mr. Brandt. They cannot open their windows downstairs, so that's not an option either for.
And if you have computers and computer drafting equipment, you make the temperature that much higher, it's a non-negotiable in my book.
Would have been nice to have this information before they did the windows, so that we could have made a better decision. Now we're forced into a corner to make this decision, and that's not really great planning.
I don't think we're being forced into a corner. I mean, it's just a no-brainer for anyone that knows anything about computers. Would we rather have to order new computers because they're blowing up and not working, die because they're not getting any ventilation, or
Computers aside, it's also your students' health.
Exactly. It's the computers, all that many, these big ones, a lot of heat is coming out. So I think
It's
it's
not an additional expense, it's existing.
It's credits. It's an addition.
I think the point was that when we originally approved the window grant project, new windows, no one ever thought that we were gonna come to this point, is the point Donna was making, Ms. Bayless, because obviously, I remember going down in the basement, we were talking about redoing that one architecture room or whatever, always said, well, did we actually know they were gonna cut this hole in the floor? And I think you and somebody had said to me, yes. My point is, did we not see this coming? Because I would wonder, ask yourself, why they didn't put windows that open down there to begin with?
Even if they did put windows that open, it doesn't matter.
Right,
It's
right,
100
right, but we
degrees.
should.
You have to have supplemental air conditioning.
Yeah, well, but it would've been a better plan if we would've known this ahead of time.
It would be safe at the school. I can't put a window unit in, people can get in.
Inefficient air conditioning you're gonna put in.
Yeah. no,
Anything
it's-
further?
It's a school.
All right, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say no.
Opposed?
Opposed?
The ayes have it, motion carries. And just a editorial note for the viewers at home, due to some technical issues, the beginning of tonight's meeting was not able to be live streamed. The entire meeting was audio recorded, and the live stream started after the district updates and prior to the start of the regular agenda review. So all deliberation and action items were live streamed during tonight's meeting. The entirety of the audio of the meeting will be posted to the district website, as well as the live stream is on our YouTube. Prior to this meeting, the board met in executive session to discuss a matter involving the employment, appointment, termination of employment, terms and conditions of employment, evaluation, performance, promotion, or discipline of a specific employee of the district. Can I have a motion to adjourn?
So moved, Janelle Rappler.
Have a motion on the floor, do I have a second?
Second,
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed say no. The ayes have it, motion carries, and we are adjourned.